everyone, my name is Timothy Stachinsky and I'm the owner and CEO of Bridge Coffee Company in Marysville, California. And I've been passionately obsessive about coffee for over 30 years and I started home roasting coffee in 1997. Back in 1993, after even falling in love with coffee, I had one of those cups of coffee that just left a really indelible mark on my life, and I have been pursuing that delicious cup ever since. Now that I'm in the business of coffee, I actually love it a whole lot more. And I am very excited today to share with you a really wonderful new product called Roastpic. And for roasters, we've all wondered, why can't I take a photo with my cell phone and just have it analyzed and give a color results? For roasters, we all know that color is a really valuable part of the quality process, plus describing it to our customers about light, medium, dark, and if it's a city or full city or French roast, Vienna, all of these different terms that we have in the industry about describing the color of coffee. Why couldn't we just use our phone? And it turns out that that's a much harder question to answer than just using like the histogram that you might see on a fancy camera, or even in new phones you can get histogram information. Well, it's really difficult to actually pull out what the color is for a particular item such as coffee and then have it calibrated to what a real result is for that color. And so a couple of years ago, some folks at UC Davis, they asked the same question. It happened to be a couple of computer science majors and director of the UC Davis Coffee Center, and they asked the question, well, how come we can't take a photo of our coffee with a cell phone camera and get results? Well, those computer scientists were also Q graders. As a result came Roastpic, and Roastpic, this sheet is the magic sauce. So a little bit background about me. I am also the head roaster for the UC Davis Coffee Center, and I was asked to be their first alpha tester. So turns out alpha tester 00 is the first. And I found out that this sheet is the important ingredient. And so each one of the squares and lines and the QR code and the color that's on here has been carefully calibrated to a lab colorimeter. And this sheet is giving you a lot of information about what is placed on the sheet. And so within the white area of the center, the perimeter of the sheet is, as it's calibrated to the lab colorimeter, whatever's inside the center part of it, it'll give you some information about it. And historically, for getting the color of roasted coffee, you'd have to use a device called an Agtron, or more recently, Lightel's or Javalytics or other tools that were colorimeters. But the starting point for those are typically in the thousands of dollars or even tens of thousands of dollars. And so being able to take a photo of it with a tool you already have in your pocket, that adds a lot of value to your device. And so if I were to just take a photo of this coffee on here, well, that coffee has got a lot of shadows around it, the illumination from this space and place, there's nothing to compare it to, and so your phone is going to have a lot of work to figure that out. And so what they've done is they have, by using this calibrated color sheet, been able to give you a lot more information than just color, just the roast level of the coffee that's on there. You can get size, color, and defect all from the one photo. So along the perimeter, besides the color, there's some size bars as well as some circles with triangles in them. Forgive me, scientists who know exactly what the circles with triangles are called. I do not know. But I do care that this sheet also looks at every single bean that's on the sheet and measures the length and width and any kind of irregularities of those beans. And so from this one image that you would take from the entirety of the calibrated sections as well as the sample that's in the center of it, it's going to give you a tremendous amount of information. Another thing about the color side of it is that the color that's on or that's being seen by the camera is really really accurate. So sensors and lenses, the ability of the camera to process the image has become incredible. That the software that reads the sheet and the red, green, and blue sensor and high quality lens of the cell phone camera can send this information to a database and process all of what's going on. You're getting a tremendous amount of information, including L-star, A-star, and B-star colorimeter values. And so what is L-star, A-star, B-star value? And well, simply, L-star is the intensity of the light from 0 being black and 100 being white, everything in between. So that's kind of like similar to like what we've seen in the industry from Agtron or other colorimeters, that they give you a value like the commercial scale of Agtron 0 to 100, similar to that L-star value. And then they have expanded that to a gourmet scale, so there's some increased resolution within the area of where roasted coffee sits. But with the L-star, A-star, B-star value, it's measuring every spectrum of the visible light from the colors of the rainbow. Not just red, green, and blue. It's a colorimeter will see every single one of those wavelengths. And so the A-star and B-star, from a positive and negative standpoint, will give a value of every area of wavelength from that visible light spectrum. And so when you're looking at roasted coffee, it's not just all one color. And if you were to use just like red and green, that would give you brown. And so if you shot a red light and a green light and saw the reflectivity of those two colors, and it's looking at the level of brown, then that one wavelength of green and that one wavelength of red and the intensity of it would give you something of an L-star, A-star, B-star value, but it would be inaccurate for the entirety of all of what's on the sample. So on the color side, you're getting a full histogram of every color that's on the roasted coffee. That's incredibly valuable for a number of reasons. So let me kind of dive into the app. And the app is really